Hello everybody, Kirk Wickheiser here. I'm back in my studio and I'm ready to begin a series of small paintings. I've decided that I am going to focus on my impressionistic skills. Many of you know me as somebody who likes to paint a more of a photorealistic look, carving in every detail. It kind of stems from my background as an illustrator years ago. That is just a habit I've gotten into, and a lot of people appreciate it, and I certainly appreciate all of the comments and likes that I get in my YouTube channels and Facebook based on my paintings. But I was this weekend, I watched a demonstration by a guy who is just world renowned. He refers to his art as abstract realism. He uses very loose strokes, but when you back up, and of course they look a little on the messy side, but then when you back up, it really looks like a beautiful, it could pass for a photo when you're back far enough. So I really like that technique because there's never a question as to whether it's a painting or not. Really like that technique. I'm not trying to undermine the whole idea of painting with photorealism. There's some landscape painters that paint like you are looking right at a photo and from 5 feet away, and they win competitions and they are fantastic. But I really like a painting that looks like a painting, where you can see the strokes. And so I learned quite a bit this weekend watching this fella, and I'm going to start applying some of those techniques, but I'm going to start out very small, using these little 8x10 canvases that give me an opportunity, without spending a lot of money, to experiment with color. So I have some ideas as to what I want to do, and I'm going to try not to deviate from maybe 3 color values and all the gradations within those 3 colors, but they have to look like they fit together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to experiment with this, and I'll upload it to YouTube, of course, when I'm finished. But by going small here too, I can also slow the camera down a little bit without boring you to death, and you'll be able to watch the whole process without it going so fast you can't really tell what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with probably just some sort of a landscape, and there's going to be a lot of fudging as I go. I may not even like parts of it, and I'm going to go back over the top of it, but I have some ideas as to how I want to do this. And what I've noticed when you're painting alla prima, or wet on wet as they call it, alla prima is what some people call it, because light colors don't take as well on top of dark colors unless those base coats are dry. I think what you'll notice is a lot of them work with lighter tones and they go back over with shadows. I don't know if that's always the case. You definitely have to be thinner on your bottom layers and thicker on your top layers. But I've noticed this guy in particular, he keeps his colors separate and then he blends them together. He doesn't lay down a block of color and then try to go over top of it for the most part, unless he's going darker. I've noticed that when he tries to go lighter, it doesn't seem to show up as well. But he also uses a very high grade of paint, and he sure gets the job done. Very successful painter. And I'm going to attempt to do some of these small studies. I love the way some of these little ones look. I mean, that if somebody buys them, they're not going to spend a lot of money also, and it gives you an opportunity to free up a little cash. But or I could keep a few for reference if I really like what I've got, so that I remember what I did when I was doing it. So here we are back in the studio, getting ready to fire up a new painting. And once again, thank you all so much for your wonderful comments, for subscribing to my YouTube channel, Kirk Wickheiser Art, and looking at my images on Wickheiser Studios, my Facebook page. Once again, thank you very much, and here we go. Let's get So here we have it, folks. I painted something very similar to the demonstration I saw this weekend. I wanted to experiment with some of those same techniques. I'm actually pretty happy with the way it came out. Very moody sky with rain, and you can see where the sun underneath the clouds, as it projects in, it picks up a lot of the landscape, but then the rest in this foreground here is all in shadow. Very similar to what I saw this weekend, but I've added a couple of trees and it's slightly different, but I enjoyed that technique. And I'm going to be starting doing more of these. I'm going to do more of this type of style. But that's it. I'm going to post a picture and upload a video. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.